My name is JD McLeod. This is my persuasive speech on the gift of sight, and it pertains to people of both genders in industrial construction, shooting sports, and people of the everyday running the mill life. This is to persuade my audience that once the ability of sight has been taken, unlike hearing that can be replaced, sight is lost forever. Even though the use of proper personal protection equipment, PPE, such as safety glasses, goggles, and face shields, the most valuable of senses, our sight, is still very vulnerable. It is very important to learn to take care of one of the human body's most vulnerable but valuable senses. Even though the use of policies and PPE, one of the biggest problems plaguing workers of all crafts is the loss of sight or their eyes in general. I've done research in this topic over many years to help me protect my employees. I've spent the last 20 years in construction as a supervisor for 15 of those years. And the last 4 summers I've spent teaching children between the ages of 5 and 12 shooting sports. And I push eye safety very heavily on them. I believe that starting good habits at a young age carries them through. So, first, I want to cover the OSHA regulations and some of the most common of problems that it covers. Second, I will explain how and where these hazards take place. Finally, I will give some advice on how to protect yourself from losing your eyes or your sight. Um, the OSHA reg that covers all the eye injuries is 29 CFR 1915, 153A, and 1. This is the OSHA regulation that ensures that employers will supply employees with the appropriate face and eye protection where there are exposures to hazards of flying particles, molten metal, liquid chemicals, acid, caustic liquids, chemical gases, vapors, or potentially dangerous light radiation. So, what eye injuries are there? Well, there's chemical burns, UV radiation, foreign bodies, eyelid lacerations. And what are the causes of these injuries? Chemical fumes and liquids from cleaning agents. That's probably the most common with most of us just around the house. UV light radiation, probably from welding operations, flying particles from power tools or shooting sports, and then eyelid lacerations, probably from strong hits to the face. Uh, Numerous times, someone been up underneath a truck and something fell, hit him in the face, right? What can prevent these injuries? When wearing the glasses and goggles, it does no good to wear them down on the bridge of your nose or up on your forehead. Face shields only work when they're down across your face. Um, if you're not wearing the PPE correctly, then you're not wearing it at all. It's something that one of my old foremen told me 20 years ago, and it stuck with me. Ensure that the PPE used is the correct fit for the person wearing it. A full grown adult should not be wearing children's PPE, and vice versa. Children should not be wearing uh, adult eyewear. I think the way it was worded to me was an adult could not wear children's PPE, and children should not wear adult PPE. So, where are these hazards, and how are people exposed to them? Occupational hazards in the craft. Pipe fitters and welders experience flying debris when using cutting tools, grinding, power tools, any kind of tool of any sort almost. Pipe fitters and welders are also prone to exposure to high levels of UV light radiation while in the presence of welding operations. Mechanics are exposed to dirt and debris from underneath people's vehicles all the time. They're exposed to all different chemicals, whether it's gasoline, oil, coolant, grease. Um, than the everyday homekeeper, right? Household chemicals, dust in the air from cleaning, uh, flying particles from doing the lawn work. I couldn't tell you how many times, and up until I started wearing glasses out mowing as a kid, be out we'd go out weed eat and catch something in our eye. Sports, rodeo. In the early 2000s, there was a team roper or tie down roper that was running down the line. The line busted and it took his eye out. And then I found another article where it was a young woman out of South Dakota that same thing happened to her. Shooting sports happens quite often. Ricochets or hot brass or something come up. and come back into someone's eye. Powder burn gets into people's eye, especially back when the black powder shooting. Some of the effects are acute and can be fixed with minor first aid, eye drops, or an eye patch for a couple of days. Some can be permanent, can be life changing. Even though we live in 2025, our technology has only gotten so good. If you lose a limb, it can be replaced with a prosthetic that is actually functioning. If you lose your hearing, they can give you a hearing aid that will give you the ability to hear. But once you lose your eyesight, it's gone forever. You can never get that back. They don't make a prosthetic eye that is functioning. So now I've informed you on the forms of PPE on the market, and I've informed you of some of the hazards that are out there. Let's discuss some of the ways to best use this information to better protect yourself and your eyes. Safety rated lenses. Safety glasses and monogoggles are probably the most readily available to anyone and everyone. I mean, you can go to Walmart, you can go to the hardware store, you can go to any of the local automotive parts houses, and you're going to look on the glasses for Z87, Z87.1, or Z87 Plus rated glasses. But to be honest with you, 99.999% of your sunglasses and prescription glasses now are made out of polycarbonate, which is the same material that they make Z87 glasses out of. Z87 glasses, the only reason those are allowed in the chemical plants, gas refineries, and out in the oil field is because they're actually stamped Z87. So they've actually been tested. Now, I'm not saying that a pair of sunglasses or Oakleys or anything. Oakleys actually are tested. So let me rephrase that. A pair of Panama Joes or whatever are going to save your life, but they're probably better than having nothing on your face. And 999 times out of 1,000, they're probably okay to wear. They are made out of the same material that a pair of Oakleys or any other safety glasses are made out of. And then also, you need to take care of your PPE. Making sure that your lenses are clean and able to be seen through is good practice, but dirty lenses are a bad habit to get into as well because then you're having to take them off in a potentially dangerous environment. And if you do have to take your lenses off to wipe them off, I tell these kids all the time every summer, if you have to take them off and you're on the firing line, raise your hand, let me know. We'll get you off the firing line, turn your back to the firing line. We'll wipe your lenses off, put your glasses back on before you turn back around and face and get back on your bench. Because the last thing you want to do is take your glasses off and expose your eyes to the hazards. Face shields and welding hoods can also be found at your local hardware store or automotive parts houses too. Make sure to take care of your PPE. If you take care of it, it will in return take care of you. Do not throw it around, pick it up and store it carefully. Clean it before you're storing it and use mild soap when you wash it. Don't use anything too corrosive or too abrasive on it. You may damage it and not realize that you're damaging it. And the next time you go to use it, may fail on you. And when you're using a welding hood, especially, that's the last thing you need to fail. So, in conclusion, today I discussed what PPE options are on the market to protect your eyes. Second, I explained what PPE should be used for different scenarios. Finally, I gave a little insight on how to better prepare yourself by where to find the proper PPE for the task, and I also explained the proper care for your PPE. Even though the use of proper personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses, goggles, and face shields, the most valuable of senses, your sight is still very vulnerable. So the next time you're out, whether you're weed eating the lawn or shooting with your buddies or welding in a shop, remember to take extra care of your eyes. You only get two. They can be replaced, but the gift of sight is only there with the first set.